Hello guys, welcome again to another episode of Pinoy in Australia. Today what we have is Nissan Pathfinder 2012 year model guys. As you can see, it's already in the scan tools. I did full health report. It says here ECM engine control module lock mode P1610. And also it has problem with the ABS C1143 ST ANG sense circuit. I don't know what the ANG sense circuit, but we will investigate that one later. So my priority right now is the ECM problem because this engine has no start. So I bought this vehicle as a second-hand guys, and I would like to revive this car. So my plan on this one, either I keep this vehicle or sell it. So right now I think the cause of no start is this one, engine control module lock mode. So there must be problem with the ECM. So let's investigate much further. Okay, let's press this enter, so we will find out more details about this fault guys. So read fault codes, code search. So that's the reason why our vehicle won't start, because of the ECM issue. It's on lock mode. So let's find out whether we can fix this issue. So on this vehicle guys, as you can see guys, there are so many marking grease. It's mean this vehicle had been checked by other mechanic, and they're trying to revive it until such time they surrender, and they post this vehicle for sale on eBay public market. So I seen it and I purchased it guys. This vehicle still look good guys. So let's see whether I can revive this vehicle. So this vehicle is good for off-road guys. So until now, right now it's still searching. I need to check whether this laptop is the scan tool is connected to the internet. Okay guys, this is the result of the online search of the scan tools of the ThinkTool Pro. So it says here the 6P1610 means you have attempted to start it 5 times in a row with an unrecognized key. Now the NATS Nissan anti-theft system has entered lockout code mode. So this is immobilizer issue guys. So they had used unrecognized key. So what we're going to do is we will try to check whether there is a good communication between the key and the anti-theft. Maybe there's a problem with the key. So I'm going to erase the fault code. Clear fault codes. Yes. Okay. Read fault codes. Okay. NDTC. So no more fault guys. And right now I would like to erase also all the fault on the system, guys. So in transmission there is speed signal, there is M mode switch. So I would like to erase all this fault and check which one will come back, guys, because I have a feeling that this fault code was generated because of the diagnostic procedure done by the other mechanic, guys. So let's erase all the let's clear all the fault code. So yep, so I'm erasing the entire fault code, so everything now is clear. So let's try whether it will start, guys. Okay, still no start. Let's rescan vehicle. So I had seen one fault code came back on the transmission system, guys, but nothing on the ECM. No, transmission control module is I think it's in ABS, guys. The fault came back from the ABS, one fault. This one, guys, is a little bit slower because it's checking all the system, even the other system is not present on this vehicle. So I might go to topology, guys. Okay, let's try this topology. Must be much faster. Sorry for the background, guys. One of our neighbor is having fight with the kids. So right now ECM is good. Okay, guys, as you can see, all the system are in blue. Blue means scan, but what I would like to see is normal, because maybe what happened is because the engine didn't start, didn't run. That's why the scan tool displayed on this way. So as you can see here, diagnostic, let's press this one, and this says here no DTC, so it didn't detect any default. Okay, guys, I I had hooked up my Autel Mini, guys, and we're going to measure the pressure that can produce in the common rail. So I already done this one on the ThinkTool Pro, and the maximum pressure that it produces in bar is in PSI is somewhere in 5,000, somewhere in 5,800. So let's redo it again on with this Autel Mini, and let's see whether it can produce same amount of pressure, guys. So as you can see there in the top, guys, the actual common rail pressure is on 0 right now, and the unit is PSI. So the minimum pressure that will be able to start the vehicle is supposed to be 2,999. So somewhere in 3,000 PSI, guys. So once we hit 3,000 PSI, it's supposed to start. So let's check, guys, how much it will reach. So monitor the one on the top, guys, the one with the blue square on the top, that one. Actual common rail pressure is on PSI. Okay, let's do it, guys. 5,222. So you can produce 5,221. That's way the pressure is very far from the required pressure. The required pressure is 3,000. That one is reached up to 5,000 something. I forget it. 5,221, I think. Yeah, so it's very far. So 3,000 is very far from 5,000. So it's supposed to start the engine. Right now it's still not starting. I had checked the control signal coming from the ECM going to the fuel injector. The signal is present, guys. So what I'm suspecting, guys, is our fuel injector is faulty. So my next move on this one, guys, is to pull out the fuel injector, and let's check whether we can do a visual inspection on the fuel injector, or we can connect the fuel injector and we will crank it, and let's see whether it will spray. So we will put the injector to the fuel line, but not connected to the engine, and let's see whether it will spray some diesel, guys. So if the injector failed to spray during cranking, guys, so it means that we have a faulty fuel injector. So right now I'm going to pull it, guys. Pull out the fuel injector, guys, and wait for a while. I may not be able to show you how to pull out the fuel injector, guys. I will show you during the test, guys. Okay, guys, this is the situation right now. So I have removed the fuel injector, and when I remove the injector number 3 and number 4, there is a smell coming out from the cylinder inside the combustion chamber. It smells like coolant, guys. So I have a feeling that this engine overheated, and it has a loose compression. That's why it won't start. So I hope the damage is not very big. I hope there is no problem with the head. I hope it's only a cylinder head gasket. Because right now, as you can see, I think this is the original problem, guys. This fittings here made of plastic got snapped, and they repair it. And I think this area had been leaking for a very long time, and maybe they forgot to check the coolant level, and the level goes down. and it causes overheating. So that is my preliminary theory right now. That is my uh, suspicion what happened to this engine. So right now these are the fuel injector. So injector number 4. This one, this number 2 and number 3, if you're going to smell the tip of the injector, they smell like coolant. So I have a feeling that the cylinder number 4 and number 3 have a broken gasket, and I have a feeling some coolant had managed to enter the combustion chamber, and there's also a big possibility that the gasket in between the number 3 and number 4 is broken. So every time it pumps, the pressure goes to the number 3, is goes to number 4, so the pressure is shuffling between 3 and 4. So I think 3 and 4 is dead cylinder. That's why the vehicle is not starting. So tomorrow, guys, I'm going to crank the engine, and I'm going to observe whether there's some coolant will come out inside the combustion chamber of 3 and 4. So if there's a coolant on 3 and 4, it means we have a broken gasket, guys, and I'm going to pull out the head. So once I pull out the head, I'm going to clean everything, including the pipe of the EGR itself, the intake, and possibly also the turbo. So let's see what will gonna happen tomorrow. So as you can see, guys, I'm working during night, guys, because right now here is very hot. I don't like working on morning, so usually I start working at around 5 o'clock. So the sun is starting to set. So sunset is beginning at 5, and it's getting colder, guys, because the temperature right now here in Queensland is in between 38 to 40 degrees, guys. So very hot.